Finish. We pick up the action in the final 2 minutes of the game. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They go draw here. Powell. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Fitzpatrick on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he is across and in for the score. And now they can tie the game in the final stages with the extra point.
Or they can go for 2 and go for the win. And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
A very important extra point there, up and good, and we may very well be headed to overtime. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. This will be fielded at the 8. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. So it comes down to a man who has done this many, many times before, Adam Vinatieri. This from long, very long range. And he missed it. It's no good. And that changes everything here in OT. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. On 2nd down, it's Drake. And once again, this Colts defense stops him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
We got chips over here. Chips over here. There's overload.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And a sack. They get to him defensively, but the flag comes in, and I think the D jumped. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Yeah, the penalty, it helps a little, but they'll still have to navigate a 3rd and 9 now. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. And Allen's got it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. That's something we didn't see much of from Allen the last couple of years in New England. Heck, last season, 13 games, only 4 targets. But Miami going to try to get him more involved in the passing game as we saw there. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
To try again after the sack. Fitzpatrick. Allen has it, left side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Justin Houston make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Brissett. Funches with a catch over the middle. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Christian Wilkins in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Throwing. Brissett. He's going to fire one. Deep left. He's got a man. Complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a gain of 34. 2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. Brissett to throw on 1st. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw, Brissett. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it?
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Justin Houston in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Fitzpatrick.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Here's Matt Hawk now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. And it's taken in at the 9. And he'll go out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Caught left side by Hilton. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. To throw is Brissett, looking deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Partner, a great game that we got to